everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S., Mako Chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 686. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And I don't know what happened with my computer recently due to this recent update. It fixed the monitoring issue I was having with my setup. So now I don't kind of like talk and pause and talk just so I can not hear myself in my headset. I know that voice actors use that, for recordings and stuff, and I totally get that. But to me, it just throws it all off, damn. So, anywho, now that we got that out the way, how was everybody doing tonight? This is one of those days where I wish I had gotten 8,000 BTU air conditioner instead of the 6,000. But give it a little bit of time, and my room will be back to cooling standards or something like that. The thing,
yeah, it's supposed to be hot the next couple of days.
See, you know what? That's the funny thing. It's like I think I said this on the show. It was August 1st, and I woke up. I'm just like, why the fuck does it feel like September 1st, October 1st? I was expecting it, because what I do at night, I turn the air conditioner down. No, I turn it up, so it'd be a lot cool. It won't be as cool because I literally sleep right below it. So I woke up one morning and I'm like, what? And I'm like, why does it feel that way? And it felt it felt colder in my room than it normally was. It's like the temperatures have dropped, and it's like you go out during the middle of the day and it's hot, and by the time you get back home, it's back to these cool temps. And it's been like this for about a week and a half. It's like, maybe it made me almost think twice about buying a damn air conditioner if I could survive the month of July. All right. So, anywho, enough about that. Let's get things going. Let me pull up my outline here. So we are live tonight, week of August 12th, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You'll always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. And we're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at VogNetwork.com, and you can find them streaming at Twitch TV/VogNetwork. They kick things off on Sundays, starting at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9, and we kind of wrap things up. Oh, and by the way, if you are a streamer and you do something and you stream regularly for a very long time, reach out to us. We are always looking for more cool streams and podcasters and stuff to be a part of the VOG network. So drop us a line. And just so you know, if you want to hang out with us and know more about the VOG network, Voice of Geeks Network, come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come through, hang out, post some interesting news. We're here for it. So there we go. So now we got that out the way, we're going to move things over to how was your week, how was your day, how was your week? Ari, how was your day and how was your week?
Well, my paycheck cleared, and it was a doozy from the overtime I worked in the last pay period.
I like the sound of that shit,
Yeah, me too. Especially since I have plenty left over after making the card payment and other bills I had to get through.
For me, that happens.
Hooray.
See, for me, that only happens when there's 3 pay periods in the month. That means I have a little bit of extra money to put away and spend. It does throw my bills off in the following month because of the adjustments of the pay period, and sometimes it's kind of works out for the better,
But anyway, I was working 6 days straight last week, and I got 3 days off. So today was my first day on this shit on this work week.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too crazy happened this weekend except that around 8 o'clock, I got up on Sunday and took my meds or whatever, and then like a couple hours later, I was like go downstairs and check like go over to the sink, turn on the faucet, and like where's the water?
Mm.
And so I called up the water company, like, yeah, there was a water main break that we're fixing. And it was most of the day when that it had that they couldn't flush the toilet, couldn't turn on the sink. But it got fixed, quickly enough, I guess.
Well, did you have a hose that would still have water or no?
I had a filter pitcher of water in my fridge.
Yeah, because I figured the water was shut off. My train of thought is, well, I'm gonna run outside, turn on the outside water, fill it up in a bucket, so I have something to flush the toilet with.
Well, thankfully, I didn't have to destroy any plumbing in the interim.
I hear that.
Although I will say, it did make my toilet sound possessed when I could flush it and all the water kept like all the air was being pushed out of it at once. Like just rattling back and forth, like it was about to burst off of its hinges. I'm like, the fuck happened? Yeah, it was a little weird, but other than that, really slow, boring day.
Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Not horrible, I guess.
Yeah.
I was reading and watching Twitch and putting together blocks of things.
And I think and when she means by blocks of things, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, when we get to a Geek Roundtable, you'll get a better detailed explanation. So,
Yep.
for those of you who are watching, don't tell anyone.
I see you've gotten back into it too, huh?
I've just been doing a couple of things. These are all, knockoff kind of things that I've just been hoarding to myself to put together at a later date.
You too, huh?
Yeah, I've got another one for next week to show off. So, and then after
I
that,
ordered a couple actual, Lego builds that should be coming soon.
yeah, there were quite a few of them that dropped in August that I will need to pick up. After I get paid this week, there's one that I will definitely be grabbing. Just because it has bonsais in it, but one of them is the wisteria bonsai.
Ah, okay.
Wisteria and bonsai were very much a thing that my grandfather was into.
Neat.
So I want to pick that one up.
That's really
So
cool.
I have something of his.
Yeah, I got the Trevi Fountain and Fountain Garden builds coming to me. They'll look really good next to the other unopened builds I haven't even touched yet.
I will say though that seeing the leak of the Star Wars one that everybody's been anticipating, the one that's $1,000.
I'm like, fucking excuse you?
Yes, there is a Star Wars release that is going to be $1,000.
Just a lot of
It's got like
money.
1,000 pieces too.
It's up there. It is, if the leak is correct, it is a half of the
Death
Death
Star.
Star, like they're doing now. So it's one of those that it's only half of it, so you see everything that's going on inside of it. So it has a lot of pieces. It has a lot of scenes. It is a very large piece, but that is not the Death Star that I wanted.
Were you looking for the second Death Star?
No, I am looking for an updated version of the original full-on Death Star. That's what I
I see
was
what you
hoping
mean.
this was going to be.
And Bonds underscore 006 says, wait, what? I was half tuning in. Then I heard 1,000 for Star Wars something. Yeah,
Lego.
Yes.
you did. You did.
Yeah. It is a huge Star Wars Lego set coming out.
I can't imagine the boxes it's going to come in.
Uh, yeah, those tend to be quite large boxes that have internal boxes, and then even the instruction manuals, those books,
They're
they have
novels like this thick.
well.
I mean, when you think, when you think about it, there are some Lego sets that are quite expensive. Isn't the Lego Hogwarts like $700 or some shit like that?
I don't know.
I know that because I have them in my Amazon cart. I
It's
have
close to $500.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I there are a couple of large ones like the X Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
That one's I think 450. Um there's the Legend of Zelda Great Deku Tree. That one's like 250, 350, something like that. So yes, the larger sets do get expensive, even when
Obviously.
they first released, but this is going to be one of the very, very much bigger in what they're doing. I think this is something like one of the largest Star Wars sets that they've put out. It's just over 9,000 pieces.
Oof. That'll take That'll take quite a while to put together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are ones that usually take weeks.
See, that's one where you set up a table for it, you get the camera, and you just do a chill live feed of you assembling it. Have some nice lo-fi playing in the background, and you put on your best Bob Ross voice, and you just talk about how things are going as you assemble all of the pieces, and be like, "We have this nice little."
Or you
Lego
just do a really condensed time lapse of it, so you have it slowly coming to get together.
See, no, what you know that for that you do the time lapse and you put it on YouTube for everybody to watch.
There are so many people that do that I watch them on YouTube, I watch them on Facebook. But yeah.
I just want to see this one lighthouse set come back in stock because it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, there are a lot of discontinued sets that
It's not discontinued; it just says temporarily out of stock.
yeah, but there are a lot of discontinued sets that I would
Yeah.
love. That's when the pricing gets
The wind turbine, especially
mm.
If you
the
think
functioning wind turbine.
if you think it's bad now, just basically look at the price of them on eBay. Or
I
Mercari.
ain't touching that with a 10-foot Lego pole.
Anyway,
So my weekend day, same old, not so bad work as per normal, but I went out to Staten Island to fix.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. But I have a friend out there, and I built her this really nice computer, and it was working great. And over like the last couple of years, she's been telling me there's been issues with it, like blue screens and hardware failures, a few things here and there. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, you are doing something wrong. But then again, I built a machine for another friend, and there were some slight issues, but one of her friends came by and fixed it, and I'm like, good, that's fine, I'm okay with that. But anywho, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and she's sending me screenshots and this and that. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I grab my bag, I grab all my toolkits, my flash drives, and I realized as I got out there, I forgot my HDMI cable because I had bought some extra ones, because they were on sale. So I go to her place and I look at the setup, and I'm just like, it's basically immaculate. Yeah, there's some dust in the fans area, and I blow that out. That's all fine, good, and dandy, And then as I am inspecting the machine, I notice where the monitor was plugged in at. Well, those of you who don't know, this is probably few of you. When you buy a computer desktop nowadays, there are two places to plug in the monitor. Up on the computer itself, where all the USB ports are, and then there's usually a separate video card that's installed where you plug it in. On some towers, if you plug it into the other port, it doesn't do anything because the processor that's in it doesn't have video capabilities. And then you plug it in down below. When I built this machine for her, the chip that I put in there does have graphics capability. So that's all fine, So I did that, and I looked at that, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's plugged into the wrong spot. I didn't think that she would plug it in there, and I'm just like, that's fine. I unplug it, plug it into the video card, give it a run, and it's been working great. The system hasn't crashed. There hasn't been no issues, but there isn't a major issue with the board, and it's past the warranty, so we have to replace it. What happens is when you tell it to restart, it'll go through the whole restart phase, and it'll just sit there and not do anything. So you have to completely shut it off from the power supply, flip it back on, and you may have to do that a couple of times before it goes to a full boot. So I did some research. Some have said the firmware BIOS will fix it. Some people have said it doesn't do jack. And it has to be replaced. Now, if it was me, I would replace it too, even though 95% of the time, my computer runs 24/7, 365. That remaining 5% is when it's doing updates, or if I'm out of town for more than a weekend, I will shut it down because there's no reason for my tower to be on. And if there's something that I need to do a file transfer that's that important, I'll find it online or I'll wait till I get home. Simple as that. So, but then again, I think I left my computer running while I was in Japan. No, I actually turned it off. Yeah, no, I actually shut her off. That's fine. And there was that. And then I went out on Sunday, hung out with some friends, trying to be sociable, and that's basically been the long and short of my day. So my weekend. So that's basically been that. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into some housekeeping notes here. Let me pull up this little crinkle of digital paper. Just want to let you know that podcast VODs or video podcasts of this show is available on our YouTube page. It is available Thursdays at 12 p.m. So check it out and share the word of it. So it's all good. And our next convention is AAC, another anime con. It is in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, October, I believe, 16th to 18th. So come through, have fun. It's one of those chill, small cons where you'll have time to do everything and then some. And right now, I am waiting on confirmation of the panels I submitted. I submitted 2 panels. One about Twitch streaming, like the hardware you need to get going, because everything else you can look up online. But getting decent hardware to do your show, to do what you want to do, and a panel on Japan 101. Things you have to do before you leave this country to go to another country. And then the other half of the time, it'll be all about looking for good deals, like where to shop and so forth. And as for a live panel with the tech, well, here's the thing. If the internet access is strong enough for for video feed, I'm all for it.
Hmm.
I'm all for it at that moment at that time. So there is that. So anywho, now we got that out the way, we get into our geek roundtable. This is the part of the show where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our lives, like cool geek stuff that we have been up to. So Ari, you go ahead and talk about what cool geek stuff you're up to, or shows you have watched. I am going to temporarily turn off my camera while I grab something from the back to share.
It's too bad because I really wanted to show this off and I wanted you to see it. But
I,
another
I, I
custom thing of mine came today,
I'm
the other
right.
day.
I'm right here. I'm just going over to my shelf to grab something. I can still see the screen, but that is really cool from what I'm seeing. That is really cool.
There we go. There we go. I got myself a custom lightsaber.
Cool.
It is. Ugh. It's flashing a little too much for my taste right now. It's not from Ultra Sabers because it's much better quality. I'm gonna turn off and there we go. Sorry, the flashing was starting to get into me. Let me double check where it came from because I know I have the. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, Saber Forge. That's where it came from. I ordered like I ordered it about a month and a half ago. It they said they have to machine everything and whatnot and before sending it over to me.
That must have ran a pretty penny.
They did a little under $400.
Actually, that's not bad since they have all the parts and they're doing it hand, each one by hand. That I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
And as Bob
It
Coffey
also
said, and as Bob Coffey says in our chat room at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, that is brighter than my pen lights.
and it also comes with its own app, which I can use to control everything on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Color, yep. But yeah, I basically got it so I can have the you know all the parts on the handle I wanted all red and whatnot, and just have the blade as pure white, so it's still in my preferred color combination.
That is cool.
So yeah, but with some of the customizations they put in, they can run almost like up to and including $1,000.
No, I believe it. And what's interesting is, I actually had a thought of doing a Link cosplay for a while, but instead of the Master Sword, it would be a lightsaber. But the hilt would resemble the hilt of the Master Sword.
Yeah, I've seen something like that before. I know
That
what
would
you're
be
talking
cool.
about.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And this is thick enough that I could, do stage duels with.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm just, considering where I'm going to put it up, where I'm going to hang it up, or somewhere else I can show it off. Set that right there for now. But yeah, that's how. Pardon me. That's what I've been spending my money on.
Some things are well deserved,
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, outside of gaming consoles, the most expensive thing I bought for myself would have to be these headphones that I'm wearing, and I think they ran me close to 300. The ones my normal cans were about 250, so So I totally get it. And now, speaking of lightsabers and so forth, Mako-chan, tell the class what you have on display here.
Yeah, so I have some bricks.
A lot of bricks indeed.
Yeah, I saw this and it's just been sitting in my shopping cart for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go ahead and grab this one. It is 3 separate pieces. One is Link, one is a Master Sword, and then one is the base for the Master Sword.
Nice.
For the
And it
Master,
looks like it's got parts of Hyrule on it too.
it does. It's really cool. It has Hyrule Castle on it. It has it has Death Mountain on it. It has the Great Deku Tree. It's all squished together, obviously.
So it's Ocarina of Time. Okay.
y- yeah, sort of.
Well, you
It's
said Great Deku Tree. My guess before that was going to be Link to the Past, but Deku Tree didn't appear until Ocarina of Time.
yeah. The castle is like it does have the colors from Ocarina of Time. Um, the only reason why I know that it is Lake Hylia at the bottom is because of the Lakeside Laboratory that's down there by itself.
Mm-hmm.
It has an
And
island
that's
down there too, so
that's
yeah,
Gerudo Valley in the southwest.
I am assuming so.
Yeah, because it's all desert.
It is desert, but it's not like there's a building down there. So I don't know if it's the desert and something else, like if it's the fortress. It's not very like once you get into that corner, it's just not very
It could be just a Shadow Temple.
it could be. But again, because of the way everything is, it's all kind of squeezed together.
Mm-hmm.
Because the desert would not be down there. The desert would be further north. But yeah, so I just wanted. I've been, as I said, I've had this in my shopping cart for quite a while, and it came down in price a little bit more than it already was. So I said, screw it, and grabbed it for myself.
I like the fact that Link looks very reminiscent of a Funko Pop.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. Alright, so I'm back on my anime bullshit, and I realized this is the first season in a very long time where I am following more than like 3 titles. Usually the last several seasons for the last few years, there's been no more than 2 titles I wanted to follow, and anything else I'm like, I will watch it later. I'm currently watching this season series that are new. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 series. I'm following a 9th one, but it already came out, so I'm not worried about that. So right now, I am currently watching. Let me pull up my list here. I'm basically caught up with I'm an episode behind on Don Da Don for the dub, and I got very giddy as F over the reference to Ranma 1/2. So thank you very much. See, I am one behind on Rent a Girlfriend because I'm watching the dub, and my views on this anime has changed somewhat, but it's still this is one where I'm basically watching to see how it plays out because shit got real in the manga, and I'm just like, well, he's still riding it for its worth. My Dress Up Darling, I caught the recent episode of that, and I feel myself as Gojo-kun, except that I don't make costumes per se. I'm more on the photography side, which is why I also relate to the main guy from 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, because he's more of a photographer. But I get it. But I understand his feels and emotions, and I think this has been the most powerful episode of the season, of the series so far, but that's just me. I am caught up with Rise of the Shield Hero, because that's a simuldub, so I'm caught up with that. Let's see. Sakamoto Days, I think I'm one episode behind on that. I would have watched more anime on Sunday, but I had actually gone out to do stuff, so, being social. And I do have another figure that I want to share. Like I said, I'm going to try to show off what figures that I have before I put them in storage, and I have a bunch here in my favorite yellow anime bag. You probably have seen it. If not, I will show it off next week. But and I probably have mentioned this once or twice on the show. What happened was when I was in Ikebukuro, I went shopping. I bought all these figures. This was back in 2023. I went back and I bought I think I bought an Ochako Q Posket, and it was like dirt cheap. And the woman saw I had all this stuff. She gave me this yellow Me Tokyo bag, and I was like, cool. And I decided when I went to Japan this year, I take that bag with me. And when I went back to Ikebukuro, because I wanted to go to the retro anime shop, which has now become a K-pop shop, I'm walking past this store, and I realize I'm walking past the Ikebukuro branch of Me Tokyo, which is like a gotcha type store, which is kind of cool. But like I said, you can always get really good deals on merch there. Really, a lot of stuff is dirt cheap. It's far and few that you'll pay good money. And I know Bob Coffee is here, and I know he's a big Love Live fan as I am. You may have missed the part where I picked up the Atelier Yoshiko Tsushima figure for about 19,000 yen, which is $135, brand spanking new in Osaka. And if you want to know where I got it from, I will tell you later. And yes, Bob, I was in Japan the last 2 weeks of May for my birthday. And just so you know, you are the second person that I know that went there for the Aquars Final Live. My friend Shina, she did a Mari pilgrimage, okay? She went to Numazu, everything, so that's kind of cool. But like I said, it's far outside of that. Current figures, it's far and few you'll find something that's expensive / the price you would pay here. Like, one of the figures I shown off, I think, a couple of weeks ago was the Alina Clover figure that I paid 1,000 yen for, which is $8. That same figure you can find on Amazon for like 25 bucks. There were 2 free rent figures that I was looking for. No, one of them I was looking for, but I found the Fern equivalent, and I gave them both to a friend of mine and her wife. And I left the price tags on it, and she was like, holy crap. Both of those figures ran me 3,200 yen, which had to be about 30 bucks. Those figures here in the States would have been about $30 to $40 each. So, wait, damn it. So, anywho, there is a particular free rent figure that I was looking for. There was one of her where she's holding a staff. Now, I had held onto one by Sega Toys. That was a cheaper variant. But I found another one by Sega that was I really wanted. Me and CC Greenwich went in one store, and I found it there for 8,500 yen. And I was like, jeez, that's expensive. 70 bucks, give or take. Actually, no. That would be more like $40, give or take. I'm like, that's a little pricey. When you think of the dollar to yen ratio, and you have a lot of yen, like you might think it's a lot, but it really isn't. So when I went back to Akihabara that Saturday to pick up the Super Mario soundtrack vinyl, I checked into this little the Radio Kaikon, which is like some type of like mart or something. It's like a flea market of sorts. And I found 2 free rent figures. One of her caught by the what do you call the treasure trap? The Mimic, yes. I got
Mimics, yeah.
I got that one, and then I also got the figure of her that I really wanted, of her wearing of this in this holding the staff. And this figure ran me 6,999 yen. And
That's not too bad.
I mean, yeah, but when you think about it, my goal was to pay, less than cheaper than US prices. Like, if I translate it, this figure ran me $47.30. This same figure would have ran me $50 here. Yes, I got it cheaper, but I was expecting a cheaper deal. But that's okay, because the price I paid for all the figures I bought in Japan was under $500. That would have ran me about $3,000 here if I bought them. Especially if I got them more if I went off of otaku mode. And as Bob Coffey says in our chat room here, Lashenbang and K-Books for the win. Yes, I made out like a bandit at Lashenbang. We went to the one in Nakano Broadway, and I'm with CC Graywitch. I'm like, oh, here's a figure that I want. Grab. Oh, here's another one. And I'm stacking them, and I look at her, I'm like, hold these. I come out of there, I hit like 2 other stores. I walk out of here, I was like, mistakes were made. And Bob says, Radio Kaikon was such a pain in the ass to get to since my Android phone's GPS went haywire in Akiba. Well, I will say, I understand where you're coming from, especially if you're on an eSIM. Because here's the thing. If you're on an eSIM, it's a digital file, so it kind of flips back and forth. You're not getting the full 4G, 5G signal, which is why they tell you to download offline maps when you're in Japan. Now, if you are a streamer or a content creator like that, you're going to have a Wi-Fi hotspot, and you're going to be connected to Wi-Fi on it, and you're going to have a solid connection all over, and you ain't got to worry about that. So, and there is that. So that's my figure. All right. So for Geek Roundtable. Interesting enough, though, we had some news come in, but I will save that for another time because it's kind of, as we're going to talk about Otakon in next week's show, I want to save it all for that. So let's go ahead and get tonight's ball rolling with news. We're going to talk about donations to help preserve rare Sailor Moon media. And I can kind of hear where they're coming from with that, because when I was in Japan, I saw some interesting things that you cannot find. Hell, I took a picture of one Sailor Moon figure that I'm like, I think this is a bootleg? I think? But I have yet to post in one of the groups to have someone to verify it. But, anywho, this is what's happening now. A popular website, Sailor Moon Center, if you know what they have, then you know Sailor Moon Center. They're asking for help from us, the fans, to preserve an extremely rare Japan-only release as part of its quest for digital preservation of old media. Sailor Moon S. Kotoetete Moon Call, Sailor Moon S. Answer the Moon Call, is a rare game that came out in 1994 for the Bandai Telebico console. I have never heard of the Telebico console. I've heard of other ones, but this is one that's interesting. The game is in a quiz format and set during the Sailor Moon S season with original animation and official voice actors and actresses. The game was only out in Japan and is very difficult to find outside of the country as VHS tapes have fallen out of use. So I'm going to assume the Telebico console was like one of those VHS gaming consoles that we had here in the late 80s. So Sailor Moon Center needs a specialist help to preserve the game for future generation of fans, and a process that is not cheap. So basically, they want to capture this VHS tape in the highest quality possibility, and it needs it professionally done, use what's called a Doomsday Duplicator method. It's an open source hardware device designed to preserve analog media like Laserdisc and VHS tapes. It takes the signal directly from the player, bypassing internal processing. This allows for higher quality backups and traditional video capture, avoiding the regular degradation. The equipment that they have on hand isn't capable of this level of quality, so they need to outsource the capture, and it's not cheap. So they're asking if anybody would be willing to contribute. Those who contribute will receive the lossless video and the audio files as a thank you for their support. Those who aren't able to donate, they will release a high-quality fan sub in their standard format so everybody can enjoy it. If the project goes well, they would love to expand this to other rare releases such as the Hero Club tapes, the edited Pioneer VHS tapes, laser discs, and more. all donors will continue to be prioritized and receive the highest quality archival files possible. Now, I would be kind of iffy on the edited VHS tapes because there are edited DVDs out there too. So, either or, but I get you trying to get the whole thing. Now, digital preservation is becoming more important given that so much stuff is coming out on unsupported formats and streaming only. Now, now to keep rare games or region-specific media, it can cost a lot of money to exploit specific kinds of transfers. Sailor Moon Center is asking for donations to aid its efforts in doing so via the Doomsday Duplicator hardware device, with the site promising to release a high-quality fan sub so that the game can be enjoyed by all, even those who aren't unable to donate. As I said previously, if the project goes well, they want to do other things too. Now, you may have heard something similar to this. Does anybody here remember Reboot?
The animated series?
Yup.
Yeah, I know of Reboot.
Yes, there is the Reboot Revival Project. Yes, Reboot has been released on DVD. But there is a group out there that want to do high-quality Blu-ray releases. And they use, I think, VTRs, videotape recording machines, which are different, you know? And these machines, you need a specific device. Like, the masters are on specific tapes that work on certain machines. So they have been tracking down these machines so that they can do the one-to-one transfers at the highest quality. And the team at Linus Tech Tips is actually helping with this because I believe they were able to ask their forums, their fan, their base, their audience to help find, I think, the machine to do it, and they're going with that. And as
they were the ones that, because they have such a large reach, they were able to find somebody that had the machine to do it.
And as Bob Coffey says, Discotech was also originally going to use the Doomsday Duplicator for Project Echo, but ended up finding the actual film instead. Yeah, I think the original master was in their stacks, and someone just happened to open up one of the tape clamshell or something like that, and like, oh, it's right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of that stuff, they didn't think to keep it.
Hell,
so a lot of it was like overrated.
Yeah, a lot
just thrown away.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from the 60s and the 70s that they just re-recorded over the masters. They're like, well, we ain't got to worry about this anymore. I know there was one exception where the BBC had like this massive fire in their archives, and they reached out to the fans for help just to source copies of Doctor Who and other shows, and they were lucky enough to get those, you know? So
yeah,
because they knew people would be recording them on their own VCRs.
Probably so, yeah.
Have Doctor Who episodes that have not been re-aired. They have, the premise of what happened, but they don't have any
the actual physical.
They don't have
footage.
any physical embodiment of that media anymore.
And now it's getting to the point where we have what's called disc rot, where, your physical DVDs and Blu-rays are slowly rotting away, and it's no fault of anybody. This is just normal wear and tear. So even if you keep stuff in the most precious of conditions, this can happen. So this is another reason why there are people who are doing media rips and DVD rips and stuff like that, because if a hard drive starts to fail, depending on your setup, it's not hard to get that data off of there and put it on another drive to keep it going. So, I mean, I still have my drives from when they failed, and I'm probably going to get around to hooking them up and doing another scan to see what other music I can find, that I can get my hands on, because I know there are a few albums that I know I cannot get my hands on again from when my hard drive failed back in 2019. Yeah, 2019. So, yeah. All right. now that we got that out the way, let's talk about Disney Twisted Wonderland.
Yeah, so we've known for a while that they were going to be putting out the anime for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we finally got information on when it's going to be premiering and how long it's going to be and all of that fun stuff. So, obviously, Disney Twisted Wonderland is a mobile game where you go to school with Bishonen versions of Disney villains. Um, Truthfully, it's not really Bishonen versions of Disney villains. It is Bishonen versions of people with characteristics of these Disney villains. But yeah, so the first season is subtitled Chapter of Heartsley Buell. I cannot say any of these names.
Whoops.
Um, yeah. Uh, so basically, there are various houses in the school that you go to. And the houses are based off of the Disney villains.
Mm.
Uh, Obviously, this one being Hearts, this is going to be based off of the Queen of Hearts. This season will be premiering October 29th on Disney Plus, and they have confirmed that season 1 will be 8 total episodes.
Man, they're getting stingy with these episodes.
Well, they're going to be obviously they right now they have information up to season 3.
Yeah, but I expected at least 12 episodes a season.
Um not
Double
necessarily
digits at the very least, you know?
for this. I think because there are so many houses, once they're done with it, it will, I think, equal like a 26 episode series kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
I saw 24
think that
episodes.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going for it. So it's not really, I mean, yes, it's a season, but it's like a season because like each one is dealing with a house kind of thing. Yeah. So there are visuals that are out now. So the Heartslabule House Warden, who is Riddle Rosehearts, um, and alongside Yukin Enma, who is going to be the show's player character. Um, so it also shows, the House of Hearts. You get a glimpse of the cat mascot, who is Grim, who is awesome. And then you get to see some of the dress uniforms for this particular house. There's also going to be a season right now that they've already listed for Savannah Claw, which is the house for Scar. And then Octavenal, I think it is. Octavenal. That one obviously is for Ursula. They do not have release dates for those two season adaptations. But yeah, so for those that, might not know what I'm talking about or have never seen it, basically, Disney teamed up with the person that does the art for Black Butler. So they came up with original designs for the animation, which obviously is from both the series, the game series, and the anime. Um, so yeah, the whole thing is basically you are being summoned by the magic mirror to Twisted Wonderland. which is the world that you are coming into. You arrive at Night Raven College, which is an arcane academy. You end up accepting hospitality because you have nowhere else to go. You begin searching for a way home. Obviously, this is a school filled with a bunch of Bishonen, so it's dysfunctional. There's a lot of, infighting and competitions and, please win my heart. Oh my God. And all of that fun stuff.
So, an approximately Disney spin on Oron Host Club.
Maybe.
No, I would probably go with uh one of one of the other school-based anime.
Cromartie High.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, it's interesting though. I will say this. A lot of the stores I went into, especially Lashenbang, and yes, Bob Coffee, Lashenbang is the shiz night. That's the store that got the bulk of my money. But I mean, they had really good deals. I'm not gonna lie. But they actually had big sections of Twisted Wonderland, and I was like, I should get Mako something, but I could not remember who you liked in the show, and I already got enough stuff for you as it was.
Disney presents Obey Me. You could probably go that way if you're looking at it, because that's basically where they got, those kind of games is where they got the idea to do this. But it's Disney meets Hogwarts. The houses all compete. They all, have pride for the person that started their house or who their house represents. They go freaking crazy. There are houses that hate each other. There are houses that get along. And then there are the people in the houses, and the people that are in the houses tend to very much either be a representation of that house physically or take on a representation of their house. Obviously, the ones that are in the Scar house, they all have some sort of lion-looking characteristic. Everybody that's in the Heart house, they all wear suits, and I don't mean clothing, I mean card suits. There is a house for Hades, and they all tend to be blue and fiery, dressing in colors.
So basically full of angst and fabulousness?
Yes.
There you go.
And dry wit.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is a Bishonen series with a bunch of bishies and, harem-like attributes.
I totally get you. All right, Ari, tell us what the happened to all the McDonald's Pokemon toys. Well, I've read about this, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. A part of me was like, maybe there's a little bit of respect coming from the land of the rising sun on this, but not so much.
Well, the set the stage. There's a Pokemon Happy Meal toys at McDonald's Japan. You got a Pikachu that when you push it on the ground, its tail wiggles. A spinning top with a Charmander on it. A Pokeball roller with Squirtle. A Mega Lucario that shoots discs at things. A Pikachu on Pokeball roller is pretty much a Weeble Wobble. A Mega Charizard X spinning top, a Bulbasaur on a roller, and a Eevee keychain where Eevee's sitting on a stump and you pick it up, it rattles like it's like a maraca.
Mm.
The first 4 come out in the first week, and the second 4 come out in the second week. And on the 9th, 10th, and 11th of August, people who bought a Happy Meal will get a bonus Pokemon card set as a limited time weekend event. One featuring original artwork of Pikachu, and the other one randomly selected from the 5 others.
Okay.
Appear to be the starters from the newest generation, a Lucario and a Ralts.
Mm.
But there have been instances of people, buying food from McDonald's just to get the cards, and then just fishing the cards out and leaving the food behind. Like, and it says in connection with the Pokemon card campaign, there were cases of large-scale purchases for the purpose of reselling, which resulted in store congestion and food being left behind or discarded. We deeply apologize for the inconvenience caused to our customers who regularly use McDonald's and to the staff working at our stores. Which, yeah, on the one hand, I fucking hate these people because they're scumbags.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, it's a little bit comforting to know that scumbags come in all stripes, and people are and people in Japan are just be just as scummy for Pokemon trading cards as they are here.
I guess in Japanese McDonald's, you can't buy the toys separately like you can here in the States. But even then, not every McDonald's here will let you buy the toys separately,
It really depends on well, this isn't the toy. This is something that was only going on for 3 days that was being included with the toy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't run out of toys, they just ran out of cards.
Oh, I thought
because it was
okay.
because it
And
was
again, perfectly good food going to waste.
yeah.
Well, acceptable food going to waste.
Well, I will say this as somebody who
The point is that people are buying up the people are buying the food just to get the cards and leave the food behind. That's a pretty scumbag thing to do because other people could have used that food.
I mean, or give it to somebody. Like, here, eat this or something like that.
Well, the main reason why there was so much food, and this is touched in the apology that McDonald's gave, is there were no rules. They have never had something like this happen before.
Because you would think that people, Japanese people follow how it's supposed to be. You don't, but then some people I gotta get paid.
Right. So when this happens, there were no limits on how many you could buy. So a lot of people were getting online, buying 5 meals, because I think that was the only limit. Getting those meals, dropping them on the table, and getting back online.
Mm-hmm.
So that there was no rule against. A lot of these places also had where you could just do multiple orders. So they would go up to the kiosk, place an order, finalize that order, place another order, finalize that order. So it wasn't just that one person was going in for 5 meals and leaving. It was one person going in and they were getting 20, 30, 40 meals. And that is the big mess that was basically left behind.
Yeah, you saw pictures of just unopened bags of McDonald's food just stuffed in a corner somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they weren't just leaving it in the store. They were bringing it out of the store, dropping it into an alleyway, and then going back into the store. It was a mess.
Like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
And as Bob Coffey says, you would think that this kind of bullshit would be stateside, but no.
We have our own bullshit to deal with.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but another problem is, well, or one thing that probably saved them from a lot of people showing up is they only released this like 3 or 4 days before everything was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even like, oh, a whole bunch of foreigners were going to go over there and try and get that shit.
I
Like,
don't
no,
even. This was mostly Japanese people doing this.
Japanese, and I think they said a bunch of them were Chinese resellers.
Well, and one
basically they live in Japan to do this kind of crap.
Well, also throw onto that one of the Facebook groups I'm in is No Country for Tall Men or something like that. They are a proxy service for Sailor Moon goods and other non-Sailor Moon stuff if available. And the people that run that have posted stories of scalpers coming on trying to get stuff and showing messages of scalpers messaging them on for sales and stuff like that. And it's it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So frustrating.
You're telling me. But
this is why we have nice things.
Exactly. At least they're still going to continue to put out the toys for the rest of the summer. But the cards, if you got them already, hey.
I mean, the cards were only for 3 days, so.
Really? I thought it was part of the regular promotion because even if it was 3 days, they cut it really early because of that.
No. The cards were only for the first 3 days of the promotion. The toys they sectioned off, so it's 2 or 3 of them for the first week, the next 2 or 3 of them for the second week, and then for the third and fourth week, it could be any of them. The cards, however, were just for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You would definitely get the Pikachu grabbing at the McDonald's burger. That was a guarantee. And then it was one of 5 other cards. Which, again,
like I said, the starters, Lucario and Ralts. Riolu, sorry.
Yeah, because according to the follow-up story, they discontinued it quickly. So I don't even think it actually made it 3 days.
No, they ran out of cards.
Huh.
Yeah, no.
They ran out of cards in less than 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were supposed to last 3 days, but they ran out of cards before it.
Okay, makes sense. All right. And as Theo X75 says, I saw those pictures. That was horrible. I hope they find those people who did this and get shamed.
We can only hope.
Yeah. I mean, not for nothing. There are times on my personal feed, I see some interesting Facebook reels of store workers telling these Pokemon scalpers, oh no, you can't have that. And I've seen videos of where, the employees are coming, they're pulling stuff out of the carts like, no, you can only have X amount. And they're trying to say, oh, it doesn't say that it's listed. Don't care. And again, I understand people are doing this as a living, and I get that. But there's a line that you really can't cross, per se. This reminds me of the one time me and Mako went to Best Buy, and there was a guy there this was during Black Friday sale, this was a guy there that was trying to buy 20 PlayStation 4s for $200. And the manager was basically in the process of telling him, you cannot have all 20 of these.
Yeah, I've seen shit like that before.
I mean,
yep.
In New York City, I think you are allowed to increase the value, go at least 15% above MSRP. In the event that there is a crisis where you are allowed to do that. And I get that. And I know there are stores I've been to, I'm looking for certain items. I'm like, oh, this is this. I will go to the other store because it's it's the closest to retail price that I will pay for it, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
anywho, Marco, let's talk about your favorite chocolates.
Rama,
Yeah.
you, I'm sorry, but
So
I got to head out for the evening. I have to be up early tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
that's fine, dude.
all right.
All right, it's nice hanging out with you guys again.
All right,
Yep,
Ari.
yep. Have a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you next
See
week.
you later.
All right, later. All right, now it was just the two of us, and this time I don't have to hit the special button to flip the scenes around. So it would be nice if I could just edit out the background image, the black bars. Now it's look like you're watching the stream in widescreen format. But yeah.
Yeah, so the rumors are true. Godiva is teaming up with Clamp.
Hmm.
There is not a lot of information that's been said about right now, but it was obviously they did hint at it, or Godiva Japan hinted at it,
Right.
with their little thing last week. Um, obviously, people understood what it was about, and Godiva teamed up with Clamp. They, as I said, there is not they haven't released a lot of stuff on what's going on. They will not announce the full details until next month. But Godiva has at least said that it will involve a brand new set of illustrations of Clamp characters from across their collected works, including Cardcaptor Sakura, XXXholic, and Chobits. They did not say what the tie-up is going to entail, but given some of the past collaborations, it is likely that Clamp artwork will grace either sets of chocolates, packaging, tins, boxes. When they teamed up with Nintendo, there were little pouches. So it's possible that they're going to do small little things like that. Um, as for the Clamp characters, it does look like they're all going to be in the chibi super deformed style rather than the, iconic style from the actual mangas.
Hmm.
Um, so, obviously, if you are into something like that, if you are into Clamp, if you are into anything like that, uh, keep a lookout. Obviously, this is again Godiva Japan. And then the items they're looking at are probably, or they're saying are scheduled to go on sale October 1st. So,
That's really cool. Too
yeah, I
bad we
mean,
won't.
depending on, obviously, depending on what characters will really depend on, uh, I guess, how crazy people go for it. But Clamp is one of those that they have a very huge following for basically all of the characters. So,
Yeah. Bond 06 says, I could not get into Chobits. Well, you might want to check out the prequel to Chobits, Angelic Layer. That was really good. That's like one of my favorite shoujo mangas and animes. I actually read the first couple of books to Chobits. I think I watched the first few episodes of it, but I never finished it. A couple of friends of mine recently did Chobits cosplay, and I thought that was really cool bringing it back. And Sia DeBerry says, but what about Makona flavored chocolate? Okay.
okay.
Okay, now this next story here, I'm not too fond about, but I totally get it. What's happening is that Disney is going to merge Disney Plus and Hulu together into one single app. Now, we all know what happened the last time two apps merged together into one, right? Do we?
Price
Do we?
hike.
Hmm?
Price hike.
Oh, not even that. Some titles hit the cutting room floor.
Yeah, but they. This isn't like a. Yeah, I guess.
No, because you got to remember, Hulu was a standalone. Hulu was a joint venture with other media companies until Disney ended up buying everybody's shares. So depending on how the contracts are, Hulu may be still looked at as a subsidiary, or standalone or something like that. So
Hmm.
that's the thing that I'm concerned. That's the thing, and because of that, and because of the way the contracts are, certain titles might not be available. But it kind of puts us on par with Disney Plus in other countries because hearing that Criminal Minds is on Disney Plus in Canada or Mexico, what? You know?
Yeah, it would work out cheaper for me because there are. I have one. Actually, no, I haven't paid on that one. I
Hmm.
canceled that one. But yeah, I had one streaming service
Mm-hmm.
specifically just for Criminal Minds.
Gotcha.
Um, but I stopped paying for it, so I haven't been able to watch any of the new Criminal Minds stuff that's out.
No, I get you. Mine, I'm borrowing from a friend, so which reminds me, I have to watch that South Park, so I gotta sit down. Might do that tonight. But anywho, basically, yeah, this by 2026, there'll be one app for Disney Plus and Hulu. The price the subscription service will remain standalone, but you can access either one from the unified app. Disney already offers bundles including Disney Plus and Hulu. In addition, significant amount of content, including anime, is already available for subscribers of both. So, also, what's going to happen is there is a streaming service internationally called Star Plus that will be rebranded as Hulu Plus, and it'll be integrated into the Disney Plus service, something like that. And they're also saying they're no longer report streaming numbers for their streaming services because we all know the numbers are either dropping or stagnant. They thought they rolled in here thinking, oh, we're gonna have the Disney app, we're gonna kick everybody's ass in streaming services. We are going to be the best. Give us our stuff back, Netflix. We got this. Meanwhile, Netflix is like, all right, we'll see how that lasts. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm. So, Disney owns 100% of Hulu after acquiring Comcast's 33% stake in Hulu back in 2023 for $8.61 billion. Before Disney acquired the entirety of Hulu, anime that streamed on Disney Plus internationally was streamed in Hulu on US Hulu instead. Currently, anime still streams on Hulu, but now Disney Plus for subscribers of both services. So, in a way, if you're more into anime, you don't need both services really. You really don't. But if you want more than just anime, then that's what you do. You get both services. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of no different what they did with HBO Max. I mean, when that acquisition happened, they threw all of the Discovery content on there, but you can still get the Discovery content separately. And they're still going to do that. You still have your two separate apps, you know? For some reason, I'm more okay with that than anime because how this industry is, how fickle it can be. So,
Hmm.
and now that we've come down to our final story of the night, which kind of falls right into Mako-chan's lap, which makes her quite happy.
Yeah. So, it was released that there's going to be a one night dinner show at the Prince Park Tower Tokyo, which is a luxury hotel located near downtown Tokyo's Shiba Park.
Hmm.
And this is going to serve as the venue for New Mobile Report Gundam Wing 30th Anniversary Dinner Show Operation Reunion. This is the most recently revealed part of the celebration of the 30th anniversary of Gundam Wing. The organizers are promising a special menu crafted just for the event, with dishes drawing inspiration from the story of the teens who each have their own Gundam. Obviously, there's not going to be any mecha warfare. So instead, the onstage entertainment will come courtesy of the voice actors for Gundam Wing's 5 core characters: Hero, Duo, Troa, Catra, and Wu Fei. The quintet will perform a live reading of famous scenes from Gundam Wing and also talk about their experiences making the landmark anime. The cherry on top, though, is that they will also perform a brand new scene as their characters that's exclusive to the dinner show. Prices for the tickets, which include the meal, start at 38,500 yen, which is $260, to 55,000 yen. Depends on how close you will be sitting to the stage. So it looks like there's SS and S, which would be the orchestra, and then A and B, which kind of wing out from that. Will be held on December 27th only. There's going to be a 1 o'clock show and a 6 p.m. show. So one obviously is a lunch show, the other is a dinner show. So obviously the tickets are very limited. Purchase eligibility is being provided by a lottery. A portion of the seats are being set aside for Gundam Fan Club premium members who can apply for them online up until August 24th. Those results will be announced August 30th. Non-fan club members or non-premium members can apply for tickets between now and September 7th, with the winners being eligible for purchase on September 12th.
I did not realize Orikasa's voiced Catra in Gundam Wing. I did not know that. Because I only know her as Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo. But I think that's most of us for the most part. So, you know.
But yeah, very, very weird rewatching this in Japanese.
Dinner and the show. You can't go wrong with that, though.
No. And this is going to be an amazing show. Like crazy amazing show. I do wonder if any of them will be singing. Because obviously, like most of the Japanese voice actors, there were character songs sung by the voice actor. So I wonder if that will be potentially part of that.
That maybe we'll find out later. There will be. Let's see. This will happen while we're on a winter break. So maybe when we come back from there, there's like an actual story with information about that. That would be really cool.
I hope so. I mean, while it would be nice to find out what this, secret scene is going to be, and then obviously with how close it is to the holidays, it will probably be some sort of, Christmas or New Year's story. But yeah, that is the story, even if it's just a retelling, to see what's going on with that. Yeah. But yeah, so the Gundam squad is getting back together, and I definitely want to see it.
And I know Toshihiro Seki, the voice of Duo Maxwell, also the voice of Moose in both Ranma One Half series. He has that one image song that I really enjoy. It's so all right. It's I don't know. It's a really good song. All right, and now that we got that out the way, we're gonna get into the party show that y'all really stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan, Mako, you get first dibs.
I get first.
Well, yeah.
Um, I don't know. What one do you want?
I will take The Shape of Pocky is now trademarked for 200, Alex.
Okay. Then I guess I will go with the first one.
All right, then go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so, the new Demon Slayer anime movie did something in Japan. Um, Not only because it is now in the top 10 uh most, or I guess top 10 highest earning movies in Japan. Because of that, it made that the top 10 movies, highest earning movies in Japan, none of them now are Japanese live action movies.
Whoops.
Yeah, so obviously the last movie, Mugen Train, that came out, and it is the still highest grossing movie ever in Japan theaters. But now it's not the only one that's on that top 10 list. As of what was it? 17 days after the initial premiere, it has reached a total earning of approximately 17.64 billion yen, which makes it ascend into the top 10, which kicks out the final Japanese live action movie. So yeah, that list now is Demon Slayer Mugen Train at number 1, Spirited Away at number 2, Titanic at number 3, which is a Hollywood movie, Frozen at number 4, which is an animated movie from Disney, Your Name, which is an anime, One Piece Film Red, which is an anime, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which, while they would probably like it to be Japanese, it is not. Number 8, Princess Mononoke. Number 9, Howl's Moving Castle. And now number 10, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle.
It's a Demon Slayer sandwich.
I think it's kind of cool that there are so many anime movies, anime animated movies that are on this list. It's kind of cool to see how many Miyazaki films are on this list. How many Studio Ghibli films are on this list. But yeah. So what did Demon Slayer kick off of the list? Now it is at number 11, Bayside Shakedown 2. The crazy part is not only are there no longer any Japanese live action movies in the top 10, there are only 3 Japanese live action movies in the top 50. Bayside Shakedown 2, as I just said, is number 11. A movie called Antarctica, that is not what it was called in Japan. It was called Nankyoku Monogatari in Japanese. That's at number 38. And then the original Bayside Shakedown is at number 47. Filtering out the non-Japanese films in the top 50 leaves 21 Japanese productions, with anime occupying all of the top 7 spots and 17 of the top 19.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are a bunch of reasons why, obviously, Japan hasn't been doing a lot of live action. Basically, you know, there's a huge market size difference with Japanese live action and, say, Hollywood studios. There's a huge, uh, I guess, mismatch of budget and quality. So a lot of the Japanese live action doesn't get a lot of the excitement and everything that a lot of the foreign live action gets into. So yeah, but yeah, that's, I mean, not for nothing, that's freaking crazy.
It is. But then again, at the same time, anime in Japan is revered as like primetime stuff. Like, if you remember TGI, ABC's TGIF, or NBC's Friends and Seinfeld, you know, if you remember watching particular TV shows that were very popular, that were revered here, that's what anime is over there. Like, you'll see anime cross promoted with virtually almost anything as if it's pretty normal. I mean, a lot of mascots are anime themed and so forth, you know? So,
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely see that just from Demon Slayer being in, 2 spots of the top 10 all time. And because it is a relatively new series, that it's become so popular so quickly that already 2 movies are in top 10. And I think there are still 2 movies to be released, or 1 movie to be released.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, yeah. There's gonna be even more stuff getting, I guess, resituated in this listing. Especially with one of these movies being at number 47. It probably is not going to be very long before that movie is off of the top 50.
Seems legit. Okay, and our last story for tonight before we close up shop, we're talking about Pocky. The shape of Pocky is now legally trademarked in Japan. What? So here's the thing. Every box of Pocky has a picture of the chocolate covered pretzel sticks on it, but you can make the argument it's kind of redundant. In the 59 years it's been on the market, Pocky has become one of Japan's most beloved sweet snacks, and you'd have a hard time finding somebody who doesn't know what it looks like. This familiarity runs in the opposite direction as well. Show someone a Pocky stick outside of its packaging and with the product name nowhere in sight, and the vast majority of people in Japan will still be able to tell you without hesitation, that's Pocky. Hell, you've probably watched enough anime where you see the characters walking around with a Paco stick and you're like, oh, that's Pocky. So, in 2023, Glico, the company that makes Pocky, conducted a survey in Japan between the ages of 16 and 79, and more than 90% of the people could identify Pocky just by its shape. And because of these results, they went to apply for an official legal trademark for its shape, and it's been granted one by the Japanese government. Damn. This sort of status is referred to as a 3D trademark. It isn't easy for a food product to obtain. The category is more commonly used for things such as characters or packaging with a uniquely defining shape, which is why you can't go and start selling plushies that are an exact match for Mickey Mouse, or bottle your upstart soda in bottles that are precisely the same as Cokes. The The hurdle for food items to obtain a 3D trademark is very high, though given that their shapes are sometimes simply the natural results of the necessary cooking process, not something created by design purposely. Regardless of that, Glico was able to sufficiently convince the Japanese Patent and Trademark Office, or the trademark authorities, that Pocky's shape is distinct and defining to the extent that the product can be sufficiently identified by its shape alone. The trademark was granted on July 25th, though Glico didn't put it out there as a press release until August. Ostensibly, this would give Glico the power to block sales of snacks with the same shape as Pocky from other companies. Following the acquisition of the trademark, a representative for the company says, moving forward, we will continue to appropriately protect and utilize our trademarks in order to develop and nurture this brand, which has been loved for so long. How much of this will actually change the landscape of store snack shelves in Japan remains to be seen. But with Pocky being so popular with fans of Japanese pop culture, as referenced earlier in this story, delicious things generally around the world, there are obvious imitators available in other countries. However, with Pocky's 3D trademark being granted by the Japanese government, it doesn't really give Glico any significant leverage in halting the sales of copycat snacks overseas, but it would in theory bar products from being imported and sold into Japan. Among products directly sold in the Japanese domestic market, Pocky doesn't have an exact imitators. The closest facsimile is Topo, made by its competitor Lotte, L-O-T-T-E, or Lotte, but its shape has contours that Pocky doesn't, and Topo are pretzel sticks that are filled with chocolate, not covered in it, which gives them a different shape. Oddly enough, it's debatable whether or not the 3D trademark for Pocky would apply to the brand's own coconut flavor, since its crunchy coconut shavings mean it doesn't conform to the standard of Pocky shape. But regardless of how exactly Glico is planning to use his 3D trademark, it really does have one now. Wow. And you know what? I got nothing on that one. I got absolutely nothing. I mean, but still, that is hella wild, though. And Bonzo06 says, Pocky prices have soared here stateside, like literally, and Pot Culture says tariffs. And I don't even think it's just tariffs. I just think it's the price of food going up in general.
Yeah.
Hell, I remember when you can get a bottle of ramen for $1. Now that shit runs you about $3-4.
Yeah. It's the last couple of years, especially with the popularity of that stuff rising, the price of that stuff has risen.
Yep. So, anywho, I think it's time for us to call it a night and get up on out of here, because we have definitely gone over our time limit.
Sounds good.
So, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up here. And that's how we do things around here. So if you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We are here to believe you. Check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll not just find our weekly podcast, you will find anime reviews, editorials, cosplayer interviews, cosplay tips and tricks, links to our YouTube and Facebook pages of con and convention coverage, convention reports, all that and a whole lot more at animejamsession.com. While you're out there, subscribe to the podcast if you like tonight's show. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, anywhere where podcasts are available. If there's a podcast app that you use that can't find us on, let me know and I'll get that taken care of. Follow us on our social media pages. It's Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. And to all of our fans that follow us on there, thank you so much. We could not do this show without you. And if you're still here, check out our tip jar down below. Live direct links to our Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi if you want to throw a few dollars into the coffers. We really appreciate you. If you want, you can cheer us on with bits. We love that too. You can also sub to the channel, and give out gift subs. All that keeps the ball rolling. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I need to feed the animals so that I can go to sleep.
You haven't fed them yet?
Nope, not yet.
Whoops.
I have a cat looking at me,
Sharp.
wanting to know where where her food is.
Also sharpening her claws, like, if you don't...
Yeah, pretty much.
My last words is... I was going to fix up my box and clear stuff out, but I think I'll save that till tomorrow because it is late. So that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Barry Mellon will be joining us, and we're going to be talking Otakon because they went, and we want to hear their stories and experiences. And if you went to Otakon this past weekend, hey, come join us. Plus, I'll tell you all about my cameo appearance at the Masquerade. The fact that people in the audience recognized me and was screaming out, oh God. And I got the video, so I'm going to have to watch it later and post it on my socials. So that is it. End of list. We're getting out of here. I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're getting out of here. See you next time.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!